Welcome to Fouts Boxing Theory. I'm the number one striking coach on the planet, number one combat sports mind ever, and I'm going to be walking you guys through a couple of the flaws in Artur Beterbiev, some of the problems that he has, and we can see here, number one, his head through all these clips is in the same spot. And when he does move his head here, it doesn't really connect to anything. He winds up just walking into some punches there. And again, no head movement. Boom. His head sitting in the same space for so long. And the biggest problem with this, I know that everyone's going to say, well, he's world champion. Wow, this, and that. I mean, sure, that's true today. But is that going to work? Would you guys have picked him to beat David Morrell? What about all the guys that come after David Morrell? Right? When we take a look at Artur Beterbiev, this guy's coming, he's coming from the stone age of boxing. You know, bef- he learned and grew up at a time before film study, before people knew what they were looking at when they were looking at film study. You're welcome. But people understand how to get better so much quicker. The new generation is going to be so much better than these guys were capable of being without the internet. Okay, so let's not don't don't get mad at me for teaching you that you can be better than these bums. Okay, don't be mad at these bums for getting good at this stuff before the internet, right? So, number one, for all the things that he sucks at, when we take a look at it, he's pretty nuts at the jump rope, right? No. If you can muster double unders, even if he's doing the crossover ones with the light rope, and everyone looks good, right? Everyone looks fast doing double unders. It's the only way that that move works, right? So when we're talking about basic flaws from Artur Beterbiev, he's working right now on transitioning his weight from one leg, right? And he's going to pendulum step to the other leg here, boom, and then he's going to transfer his weight to the other leg, boom, and now pendulum, and then so he's working on his pendulum steps. But when we actually fight a guy, do we pendulum step around like this? Are our hands in this position? No. Are we looking at the floor? Nah, it's not so bad, right? As long as your eyes are on your opponent, right? You actually don't need your head all the way up like that. Um, but um, but is this also how we want a pendulum step in front of our opponent? Do we want to do it fast or do we want to do it slow? Do we want to be doing it with our head in one position? And this is, I would say, this is a great, you know, week one drill for somebody. Okay, week one. Now I want to talk about this real quick when we get to a little bit deeper into the film study. Um, uh, Better Baby is going to be talking about how he doesn't know why he does this stuff. He saw some Soviets doing it, so he just did it from a long, long time ago, and he's been doing it ever since. And I don't want to say that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of thought that's put into this stuff because he stole that stuff from the national team, the national amateur team. Little hand exercises, really good for him. Very Soviet Russian. Bivol does a similar thing. He doesn't do it as like repped out as Beterbiev is here. Tiny bit of head movement here, tiny bit, but mostly his head is sitting in one position. He'll have places, right? So sometimes when he'll throw a punch, he'll move his head across the line and throw a punch like this. But most of the time, he's throwing punches with his head in the same spot. He's not moving his head. And again, if he's going to have head movement, where's he going to practice it if not here with all these ropes? Right now, again, a little bit of this pendulum right here, right? Jab, roll under the line, boom, to get a lot of weight into this shot. But this is also the same shot that he was like constantly getting hit in. I think it happens in this clip here. No, this is the head movement one. Was it right at the end of this one? So he's about to execute that move right here. Jab, pendulum. He's about to roll under the line to throw that right hand and gets completely picked off. Right? And it's not that the move is bad, right? But it's that he doesn't have anything to connect any of his other head movement to, right? Look at him reset to do the move. He doesn't continue boxing and stepping around and circling. In fact, if we take a look at his shadow boxing routine here, get out of here. He's not really doing a lot of boxing at all. He's utilizing a little bit of the rope, a little bit, but he's not really boxing or stepping around or moving. You notice if you watch Canelo do that, a lot of times he'll be moving around and circling and stepping around, and you can see the translation in this fight, and you can see that Artur Beterbiev, pause. Um, uh, anyway, who cares? Whatever. This thing I think is really cool. By the way, this little boxing heavy bag carousel. I think it's super super cool. I don't know if there's anything to keep it moving, other than if he hits it in a specific way and it'll move, right? Like if it'll just start drifting and circling. But I think it's really, really cool. And like, how often have you ever seen a thing like that at a gym? It's pretty unique, right? Now, I want to point out how unique this is and how Artur Beterbiev still manages to ruin it because he trains with no head movement. Again, here's that same move that he was working on the rope. Boom, rolls under, throws the shot. Now he's throwing two punches, hits some targets, right? But again, it's the same move, basically no real head movement throughout the entire routine, right? Here he is, sitting on the back, boom, 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 boom. Exactly how he fights, right? When he gets going, getting in front of a guy, no head movement here. Jab, pendulum, getting picked off, trying to throw punches. Once he gets going, 1-1-2, no head movement, right? His head's crossing the line, right? But we can see it's basically in the same spot, even though his feet are pushing forward, right? And this is a consistent theme in all of his work. Now, we've got a very, very, very uh, controversial tool coming up, but I just want to remark on how he has this incredible heavy bag tool here, and he still manages to ruin it because of the way that he trains. A little bit of a pull counter there. Now, if we take a look at him moving from this angle here, we can see that he's not really moving his head at all, right? He's drilling his 1-2, boom, boom, boom. But again, he's not hard to hit. Does this look any different or better at all than like the random dudes at your guys' gym? It doesn't, right? So if we just gave the random dudes at your guys' gym more punching power, boom, they're Artur Beterbiev. Wow, that wasn't hard. Again, I'm the first coach in history to be able to crack and figure out how all of punching power works, all the mechanics. If you want to check out my program, check out in the link in the description below. Or if you want to learn how to weaponize the 1-inch punch, that's what I'm going to be teaching you. The whole program is in the Vimeo package below. Weaponizing the 1-inch punch. It'll teach you how to throw your best punch, how to make your best punch better. As much work as you put into it, you will get out of it. Okay. You will become a better puncher, guaranteed. Okay, if not your money back for sure. Or if you want to join the Fouts Boxing Academy, there's a whole bunch of people in there that I'm teaching the system to, teaching punching power to. It's $20 to sign up, but if you get a year membership, it's about $160 for a year membership. Gets all kinds of extra film study. We do film studies like every other day, probably like almost closer to every day. But also, if you want private coaching, it's about $400 a year. You'll get access to the Discord, and I'll try to teach you as best I can about all the things that you're actually lacking. Um, but it's a lot of work, a lot of stuff, all that stuff. But if you work hard, you will get better. Okay. And again, if you want to challenge me, right, it's like $400 for private coaching. If you want to challenge me, and you want to prove that I'm a scam, right? Join. Join. Work hard. Don't get better. And then show the world that you didn't get better. Okay? I guarantee it's impossible. Okay? Anyway, not a lot of head movement on the double end bag. Now, when we take a look at him here on the mitts here, is there any head movement? No. We do have another mitt video we're going to take a look at. But again, head movement, none. Just moving around. And again, look at this incredible gym that he has access to. Look at all the tools that he has. Anything that this guy's missing, it's his own fault. Okay. But goofy head movement here. Here he slips here, boom, but his right hand is down. He's not in position to defend that position. And again, if you guys check out the Fouts Boxing Academy, the I'll be able to teach you all the ways not to make all these mistakes. Okay. Now, see him moving his head here? He doesn't really connect any of it to anything. Okay. And we see also it's very important that number one, the guys throwing at him, I don't think they do this a lot. I think this is like for the cameras. I don't think the guys knows what he's doing. Um, but Beterbiev's not moving around this at all. He's already planted on the line. Okay, he's already on the line with the tool. He's not moving around and circling, um, and he's not really connecting anything to his punches. Okay, a little bit right there, a little bit shifting forward before he ends, but they're definitely using that tool completely wrong. Uh, just real quick, look at his gait. Look at how goofy he walks, man, or runs, or warms up or cools down. Now, this is like the highlight of the film study. I just want you guys to take a look at that real quick, and before we get exactly there, just it's the same. When he starts getting going to throw his punches, see him there, right? Boom, boom. Once he gets going, right? He's throwing the punches the same exact way, trying to get to that position. Again, when he throws his jab here, where's his head have to be, right? Now, when we take a look at these things, when he throws this shot, he can't move his head because the ball has to finish the tension, right? He's punching it, and because the string is attached to his head, he can't move his head or it's going to change the way that the ball whips, right? So when he throws the left hand, he's supposed to be angling his head away off the line, right? And if he throws his right hand, he's supposed to be bringing his right shoulder forward and angling his head off the line to the left, right? The right hand brings you to the left side of the line. The left hand brings you to the right side of the line. Okay? And he can't achieve that stuff with this tool. But this is and you can see how comfortable he is with it. He knows exactly where it's going to go after he throws his little hook here, right, to catch it. So he uses this tool a lot. It's not something that he's unfamiliar with. But you can see that this is not helping him get better. It's very clear that this could actively be making him a worse fighter. Now, I want to point out before we get to this part, it's the most important part here. Most important part. It's more important than how bad this is for you, in my opinion, being very likely the worst thing that you could be doing with your time. But for your first week of boxing, sure, play with it, right? Like it's not slow. Beat, 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 beat. Right? It's not like it's slow, right? And it'll help you learn that a fight is pretty fast paced. But here's the thing: is once you understand this, right, how quickly you need to be moving to keep up with this tool, you can just take that to your shadow boxing, right? Just imagine him doing just exactly this, but without having to have it attached to that thing, right? Just shadow boxing, right? Now focus. Now look at this. His head's not attached to anything, and here it is. Beat, 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 beat. Right? He's juggling, right? How often does he have to make a move? He has to keep up, right? High pace. This is already a better drill than that thing attached to it, right? But he says something here. I don't know if I can put subtitles on. No. But he says something at this point if you guys want to hear it. or go back to, but he talks about, I don't do this for the cameras, but I do this every other day, essentially. This is his routine. Now I try to teach people it's really important to create a routine, something you're comfortable with. Um, I don't want to say do the same thing every day. It's not, that's not what you want to be doing, but kinda, but not really. You want to have some variation, some things that you do to make sure that you're still having fun with the stuff that you're doing. If having fun is important, if your system is so good and getting good is better than having fun in your routine, so you just want to work and grind hard, man, kill it, right? That's usually my approach. I just grind and grind and grind, and you know. Now, he says that he doesn't know why he does this stuff, right? That's what he's saying right here. He stole it from the Russian national team. But again, this is all stuff that's like cool for your first week of boxing, okay? But as we can see, like, again, are we expecting this guy to beat David Morrell? I know he just got beat in by David Benavidez, right? Mollywopped him, right? Beat him up pretty bad. Good fight though, good fight, but very obvious that David Benavidez is better, right? Are we expecting Beterbiev to beat David Benavidez? Or either of those guys, right? Beterbiev literally can't get away from a punch, right? We saw that with Bivol. But things like that are excellent for your first week of boxing. Learning that stuff. Again, here he is on the medicine ball. No head movement. No head movement here, right? His head dead, like literally in the middle of his line. Now, he also says something very interesting here. At this point, he says that one day he hopes to be good at boxing, and then his coach is, you're pretty close, because he's a world champion and all that stuff, But we can see, like, look at his devotion to strength and fitness, right? Look at how sweaty he is. Look at how hard he worked. Look at how uninspiring all of his boxing was. It was really bad, right? But it's part of his routine, right? We don't need to see this guy's face. Little foam rolling, super good for you. I don't know what you call that bar, the broomstick thing, but doing stretching and stuff with that. Sucks we don't get to see that. Be cool. And then right back to getting strong. A little bit of structure work, squeezing his weight into the thing. I'll say into the wall. Again, more strength and conditioning. Again, super fit, strong guy. Real quick. No head movement. He didn't move his head at all. Now, very interesting here. Pendulum steps, right? Look at him penduluming down. No head movement. Doesn't he look exactly like this while he's doing this in front of his opponents? That's this move, right? Boom. And he's getting smacked. But I don't want to say, oh, that's bad, right? There's like some value to it for sure, right? Number one, if you picked up really heavy weights and you moved them far away and now you got to get them back to the thing, like he's just putting the weights away, right? Is he doing this on purpose? No, I see what he's doing, right? But also, you can't just do that one. And again, no head movement with his strength and conditioning here, right? More strength and conditioning, more strength and conditioning. Super fit. 105? Damn, that's actually a lot. What is he doing with those? Pretty strong. That's Golovkin's exercise. But if you guys want to watch that video, it's on this Male Sport channel. I thought it was kind of cool. They have one for Bivol too, but I thought it was kind of lame, honestly, mostly lame. A little bit of slipping to the front foot after the jab. Um, some bad head movement here. When you bring your weight to the back foot like this and you're getting away from a right hand and you kind of like just putting yourself in position to just get hit by the right hand, like tall man's guard, again, doesn't really work that way. But very uninspired mitt work as well, right? In between throwing his little sequence here, right? What's he doing in between? What's his active guard? Because this is the exact same stuff that he's going to be doing in between sequences, right? He just did a sequence to Bivol, boom, got him with a punch. Now he wants to rest, or he wants to reset, or he wants to, whatever he's going to do. But what's he going to do with his body while he's doing that? What's he going to be telling Beterbiev he's doing, right? Is he just going to be standing there, letting Beterbiev or letting Bivol just bash on him, jump onto his line, 1-1-2? He doesn't have an active guard. He doesn't have any head movement. He doesn't do anything, when he's not punching. Now, it does just so happen that, all that strength really pays off because when he does get a guy, it is really dangerous to be on the line with him because when he gets a guy, he almost always hurts everybody. I think he's probably hurt everybody. I think he had all knockouts before Bivol, right? But I think he still hurt Bivol. I think he hurt Bivol twice. I'm not sure, but at least once. But yeah, no head movement, no real active guard. He's basically again a karate fighter. I don't like calling it bladed, but I like to call it right side of the line. Okay, I think bladed is the wrong term because everyone's gonna, you know, unblade when they throw punches or, but I think right side of the line is just more appropriate. I think it just demonstrates more that they're scared. Those people, the right side of the line fighters, are usually scared. They don't know how to get to the left side of the line. They don't know. They're too afraid to work on that side. Rather than being bladed as a strategy, I think it's just when you suck, you fight that way. Is this good defense? Come on. Um, but Beterbiev, why does he fight the way that he does? He doesn't know. He saw some Soviet Russian school doing it, right? He saw the Olympic team. That's how they did it, so that's how I did it. And then he got really strong. Anyway, again, we can see that a lot of the training habits that he has in this video, a lot of beginner stuff. This tool, highlighting this being, on average, just one of the worst exercises you could be doing, pound for pound, time for time, after your first week. It just stops you from, doing any of the things that you're supposed to be learning to do to make your striking safe. Anyway, don't forget to check out the Fouts Boxing Academy. Check out the striking system below, or check out the 1-inch punch package, weaponizing the 1-inch punch, teaching you, how to throw your best punch and make your best punch better. Guaranteed, guaranteed.